Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Right Time, a Wave original. My name is Bomani Jones. Thanks for listening wherever you get your podcast. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. You only give us 4 stars, I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. Also, check us out in partnership with Supercast. We have got an ad-free version of The Right Time, $5 a month plus bonus content. Check that out with Supercast. But right now is that time of week where we have a guest join us, one half of the illustrious Jenkins Jonez, Dragonfly Jones. What's going on?
Hey, man. Good to be back, man. Always a pleasure to hop on with you, my boy.
Man, y'all out here living that free agent life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, our contract with the volume ran up, for the Jenkins Jonez podcast. Nothing but great things to say about the volume, man. But yeah, the DMs are open for business. So if you want to holler at me, if anyone wants to get some negotiations going, hit your boy up, DragonflyJonez on Twitter.
Yeah, but see, you living it in an interesting way because, you got your own life already. This is more like fun employment to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got the job, but you still got checks.
Exactly. This is for sure a supplemental stream of income for me because, I do have an actual real job that I work remotely. Been working remotely even before it became the wave, bro. This is my 10th year doing this. I'm never going back to the office. But yeah, this is for sure a supplemental thing. But beyond the money, bro, it's just something that, I really enjoy doing because I'm doing it with my friends. I'm proud of what me and my boys have built. You know what I mean? And we want to continue that. So.
Man, I miss going to the office, bro. Like,
you do?
And now, granted, my office was different. Magic Johnson used to pull up every now and then.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's different.
Did I ever show you the picture of my office for Game Theory Season 1? Like that was different. It was just going in and like doing fun stuff. I'd be forgetting that y'all's jobs be whack.
Yeah,
like I was at the house all the time. Like I worked from home 20 years ago, so it was like way before it was the wave. And I was like, no, it's cool to go and see people, but I've been at like radio stations and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just be at work.
Yeah, we for sure had some different experiences. I've had 2 office jobs in my professional life where I was the only black person in there, and is no fun. Like, do you remember when some former Onion employees went on Twitter and were talking about how things are like racist and discriminatory there at the Onion. And they said there's only they said it's a crazy number, like there's only 27 black employees there. I said 27? That's 27? A family reunion. Like bro, I've never worked in any corporate environment where I had 26 other black coworkers.
Like 27 out of how many? 27, that's a Negro League roster, plus a couple of emergency call-ups.
Right? That is a spring football a suit up right there. But yeah, just different experiences. Like you had a cool jobs where you worked with diverse groups of people. My jobs were not cool, and I was the only fly in the milk there, bro.
Yeah. Now, granted, when I worked at the radio station, it was me and the late great Ted Sawyer, rest in peace. We was the blackness at the office when I worked because Shannon was a part-time at the radio station. You know what I'm saying? When I was working with the folks in Canada, I guess I wasn't in the office, but I had my man the Kang. Sasha was pulling up, but. Now, in Miami, I was the only black person in my particular wing of things. Like Roy worked on the radio show, but then at the same time, we was just up in there for an hour. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't that thing. Yeah, y'all be working under different circumstances. I have to recall.
Yeah, different worlds, bro.
I go to work and you be sitting at the desk and you accidentally Stephen A be mad and you can hear him on the radio through the walls. You know how loud you got to be talking to go through the walls of something that's designed for you to make radio?
Yeah, his voice carries for sure. Oh, that's preposterous.
Hey, man, every now and then something would happen and that man had to take it to that place to let y'all know he was serious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Speaking of serious, bro, we were taping this on Tuesday. Just so people know, we have just gotten the word that Kyrie Irving has been diagnosed with a torn ACL. And you think they got the root in Slovenia? Because it's starting to feel like Luka put that root on Dallas, on the Mavericks, on Nico. Everybody keep getting hurt. I mean, I don't really think there's anything else to just say. Everybody keeps getting hurt. Nico gonna fall down the steps next week.
Dog, it for sure feels like he unlocked some type of curse or something because you trade your franchise player for AD because you think that front court play is gonna be what carries you to the championship, and then your whole front court gets injured. And now Kyrie gets injured and he's out for the season. And it's like, dog, Bro, it's just since the Luka trade, nothing has been going right for that franchise. They might as well not even roll Anthony Davis out there, bro. Like, what are we doing here? What are we trying to prove? Give that man some PTO and let him finish getting his stuff from Los Angeles and finish that move, dog.
Well, hold up. Did you realize also that Kyrie's got the player option for next year? So it was time to make a decision about giving Kyrie more money?
I did not.
And then that happened?
If you're Kyrie, why do you go back there?
So the answer to that question, I think, is the same reason that he went there in the first place.
The shmoney's.
So yeah, the shmoney's. And look, Kyrie been on his P's and Q's the last couple of years, right? He's still out here saying the things he need to say. He just a little slicker about it. You know what I'm saying? Right? Like he be out there with that scarf from time to time. He wear it around like a necklace. I ain't seeing him in the Ankh earrings every now and then, but he putting on for the homies over there in the East. You know what I'm saying? Like he's doing his things, but he being smooth about it. His demeanor and all of that has been completely different. Okay. Like at that point where people like, a lot of y'all need to apologize to Kyrie. No. Kyrie realized he needed to apologize to a lot of people. That's why he acting a lot better than he used to. However, I would not assume that this Kyrie is a forever Kyrie. I don't know what the particular set of circumstances are that have created it such that Kyrie is being this version of Kyrie that we have seen. But I would not invest tens of millions of dollars on this. And that would be even if he had two good legs. And as of right now, he may not have any. Because Kyrie has never been a dude he ain't Lou Gehrig. He ain't Cal Ripken. He ain't AC Green, right? So why would Kyrie go back? Because I think Nico would take him back. I don't think right now. How stressed would you be if you was Nico? Nico be looking like he cooler when they show them clips of him at the game. Brother, I would be on edge all the time.
Yeah. I was so taken aback by how that man was just posted up on the court during, warm-ups with Luke out there. Like, bro, you called that man fat and took like $40 million from him, and you are just posted up like really comfortably. That is just so wild. But yeah, I mean, I guess, to your point, it basically, it seems like we're just in a weird Nico regime where if you're his guy, he's going to take care of you. If you're not, he's shipping you out, which is the case with a lot of GMs. But he just has bizarre reasoning for who his guys are. You know what I mean? So
let me think about the best way. I want to make sure that I say this in the correct way, just so everybody understands. When I say I want to figure out how to say this in the correct way, what that typically means is I had something I was going to say, and then I kind of forgot what the thing was that I was going to say, and then I was going to come back around and sort it, but it still hasn't gotten there. Oh, okay. Let's think about this from the Nico standpoint. I think it was reasonable for all of us to assume that when he let Luka go, that unless Luka was really, really, really the fattest and the laziest, that this would give him a little kickstart in the keister, and he would get out here and he would, get on his P's and Q's, right? Great example of this, every time somebody traded Shaq.
Yeah.
Year one, little bit better than year two, right? Or even extend that out to Phil Jackson shows up with the Lakers, which was in effect like Shaq got traded, right? He'd give it to you that year one. First year in Miami, give it to you, but then it just kind of slowed down. He couldn't do it like he did. But when he first got to Phoenix, it's a very similar sort of thing. He gonna get that. But the team that pushed that got rid of him, or the team that moved on for him, they were never going to get that version of him because they didn't have the ability to offer the kick in the ass that he got really like that, right? Luka and LeBron out here, a combination that I did not think was going to work. And they just out here playing mind meld. You know what I'm saying? They're just like, hey, we're smarter than everybody else that's out here. Plus, I'm Luka and I'm LeBron. They out here doing the damn thing, right?
Yeah.
Do you know who plays center for the Mavericks? Because I don't. And I don't know if that person is taller than me. He taller than you, but I don't know if he's taller than me.
Yeah, I have no idea who their second string center is behind Lively. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Behind who?
Lively. Lively's out.
Oh, Lively. Okay. I thought you said some name from another country. It sounded like you said like Lively. I don't know. I was like, damn, they went and got one of them Don Nelson players. I don't know what I thought you had said, but I was very confused. So Daniel Gafford is not playing, right? Because he's hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Oh, I assumed and this is my fault. I assumed that Lively was also hurt. And looking at this depth chart, it doesn't look like he's playing.
Okay. Yeah.
It sounds like Dwight Powell came back.
He's Dwight Powell.
He's taller than me.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. I just don't know Nico's reason. I don't know how he looked at that team that went on that finals run and thought this ain't gonna do it. I'm just, it's the most bizarre move in NBA history, bro.
See, it is unprecedented. I still don't find it as bizarre as other people find it, right? I think there are a couple of questions. There are a couple of vagaries out there. One of them is I am very curious what Luka's medicals actually look like, right? Like what do they know? Because, and that's been written in some of the stories, like Sam Amick and his story that he wrote when the Mavericks went to LA. That was a point that he made in there, is that the Mavericks think that his body is going to fall apart, basically. And everybody's so mad about the trade, they skip those things. They're like, "Oh man, you just gonna get rid of him for being lazy, right? Good to be white. Don't like he's lazy, so we got rid of him." They get anyway. I wonder if the medicals are bad. That part, I think, would probably answer some of this too. It is very clear Luka Doncic just simply offends everything that Nico thinks is important about playing basketball. And we ain't hearing no leaking out of the Mavericks about people on their side who think that, who are upset about the fact that they made this move. For whatever it's worth, they've all stood together. But something happened on Monday that makes me think more than ever that, at the very least, the tone deafness of this is a top-down situation. Because with everything that has happened with the Mavericks, and they just traded away their most beloved player, I compared that to when the Hawks traded Dominique Wilkins. But if I'm not mistaken, when the Hawks traded Dominique was 34.
Yeah.
Luka was 25, right? They jacked up the price on season tickets. And then Kyrie got hurt, by the way. But yes, the Mavericks raised ticket costs and they cited, quote, investments in the team. That's what it says. Season tickets will go up by an average of 8.61% next season, and the increase is due to, quote, an ongoing investments in the team and fan engagement. What the fuck does that mean, Kobe Bryant?
Yeah, they just ain't want to get Luka at those 350 ends, dog. That's what it's really looking like, whatever you boil it down to.
But do you realize, at least to me, and I imagine that they had this plan to do this the whole way, but after these people started showing up and doing all this other stuff, hey man, you had to fall back on this season ticket thing. And that's not a Nico Harrison decision, I don't think. That sounds like that's made by another side of the building. And this is the thing that I was going to say. Now I finally remember what it was. So the Mavericks at some point, they had put out, I can't remember if it was leaked or they said it directly, but that Nico had been receiving death threats. And the police locally said that they had no evidence of these death threats. And so the already angry dorks of the internet, and guys, you know who you are. I'm not saying that is a bad thing about you, but y'all know who you are, okay? They then felt that they had been slandered, as though they, how dare you think that we would issue these death threats if there were no death threats? Brother, I once had somebody call my parents' house because I said that Eli Manning was not a Hall of Famer. I don't know why you are acting like it is so out of the realm of possibility that literally the maddest sports fans I have ever seen just might have, in the year of our Lord 2025, have wished death upon Nico.
Yeah. And my questioning is what is their definition of legitimate death threats in 2025? Right? Because if you're just building it down to either a phone call or a mailed package, like, okay, maybe he didn't receive that, but do a search of his name on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's 2025. We communicate through the internet, bro. And I'm sure there are literally hundreds of death threats for Nika if you just hit a Twitter search, bro. And I'll say this, like, bro, I wouldn't need to get a letter, to be a little taken aback if I got a death threat on my Twitter. Mitch is like, yeah, I'm gonna find out where you live and I'm gonna kill you. Like, if I see that, I'm like, okay, hold on, who is this? You know what I mean? Like, bro, there's a level of concern that isn't there because it was a mail to me and they legitimately know my address, but it's still something that'll take you aback a bit, bro.
Hey, man, let me tell you this about death threats. I ain't worried that much about a death threat, right? Like you, but say, and you go to radio, we know you frontin'. That's how I feel about the death threat. I'm worried about the person that just wants to kill me. Sees no need to talk about it, hasn't brought it up with his friends, hasn't rounded up some posse. No, he's just going to kill me, and he ain't about the jibber jabber. That's the guy that I worry about.
Yeah. The folks who are legitimately not leaving any types of, paperwork or digital footprint that can get back to them. Those motherfuckers.
Yeah. Like, come on, man. Like the death threat, those people, they just want attention. Right? That's all that's coming down to. They want somebody to look at me. I'm worried about somebody that just wants the satisfaction of knowing I'm dead. Buddy that show up at the funeral with the sunglasses on like that African dude.
Luckily, I don't have those problems. I don't think I've had a lot of vile shit said to me on the internet, but I don't think I've ever had anyone
somebody might want to kill you. They just don't know
your
your name. You and me be having similar ops, but I don't think any of them want to kill us.
I mean, like you said, a lot of them just want recognition, bro. Like there's been a lot of arguments I've gotten into, and then the kind of temperature changes. Not even trying to sound like I'm checking people, but as soon as you give them a reply, it's like things get a bit more courteous on their end.
Yes, that's fair. Now that I figure that out too. Every now and then, if you were like, sometimes you got to be a jerk about it, but sometimes if you just say something to them, they be like, "Damn, I really am. I'm acting ridiculous right now."
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, man. But tell me this. What you think it's like to be on the Mavericks? Because look, they going to have that game when the Lakers come and play for Dallas, and they going to be booing the home team and rooting for the road team. And I got to say, if I play for the Mavericks, that's the day that I fall out of love with you fans.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're a Mavericks fan, you're in a pretty good spot where I think that the fans are probably never going to say, this is your fault, because they know that it's a shit show that has you there right now. Like, I don't think the expectations are high. Like, they're dealing with a fan base that is sympathetic to them and not expecting much. Like, how often does that happen?
Except like the only way that their anger for like they mad at Nico, but you can't really boo Nico. They gonna boo them.
I mean, I have seen some diehard Mavs fans who legitimately think this trade made them a better team, which is absurd. But I don't know, man. I think most fans realize that Nico threw out any chance they have of being a serious contender with that trade. I would hope so. I would hope. I
don't agree with that.
Aren't that dope?
See, I don't agree with that. I think they had a chance to be very good in an interesting way this season. Like, I do believe that they could have done that. But then, Anthony, I don't know what we can say about the trade in terms of this year now that, like, everybody broke down. Now, you could make the fair argument that when you get Anthony Davis, a breakdown is in the cards, right? Like, this is on the table. You should have thought about that. Okay, cool. I could see that. But no, I could see how you could say, I mean, I didn't think they were a contender with Luka as it stood. And I could see an argument for how it made them a better team right now. The issue was that Luka 25.
Yeah, I can for sure see the boo birds coming down on Anthony Davis. I think he's going to be on the receiving end of a lot of misdirected anger, perhaps maybe because he can't stay healthy or whenever he has a poor game out there. But I don't know. I just feel like you have to be delusional to think that the Mavericks are still in the hunt for another run like they had last season. I truly believe you have to be delusional, bro. And I think a lot of fans are delusional. I don't think most fans are, though.
Well, hold on. Did you think that they was gearing up for a run at the start of the playoffs last year? Because I sure didn't.
No. And that's the thing about the West. It all kind of breaks down to what that bracket looks like. What is the path that's ahead of you, right? Because, they ran up against teams that just, they were killing in the backcourt, and they went up against, quite a couple of front court heavy teams like Minnesota who couldn't do anything with them. But yeah, that's how the West breaks down, bro. It's who's in front of you. You know what I mean? Like we know the East is just a showdown between eventually the Cavs and then the Celtics. With the West, there's no telling what that Western Conference Finals are going to look like.
I think they decided, or the plan was, we're going to put together a squad of Condors. And we've got Gafford, Lively, and Anthony Davis, right? We are just going to have the longest arm set of dudes, and we're going to dare you guys to make some shots, and that Kyrie can initiate offense and get us buckets. And then we still got PJ Washington at 6'10" to get out here and get some stuff done. And then everybody got hurt. Every single person got hurt. Like, maybe the way they appease some of these fans is by having a drawing, and if they call out your seat number that's on your ticket, you get to play for the Mavericks.
Hey, these contender windows close quick, bro. I mean, there was a time where, we thought Giannis was about to go on a run. Nope. there was a time where I remember after seeing the Nuggets win the championship, I was like, that was a very easy playoff run that they had. And now shit is looking really hard for them. Like, it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle if they get another ring. And now, I mean, I think you can scratch the Mavs off a list of contenders, of legitimate contenders who can make a run at the finals. They're cooked, bro.
Well, let me ask you this. How many people in the West do you think are legitimate contenders? Because I have no answer. I feel like I can't tell who is a legitimate contender, which kind of means everybody's a legitimate contender.
Right. Like I said, it's probably all going to come down to what that bracket looks like, to the seeding. But I'm sold on OKC. I think OKC is legit. The Lakers, bro. Listen, I'm not even doing a shift here because I've always been in the firm belief, I haven't gotten off this ship, that there's about 5 or 6 guys in the league who, if you get the right pieces around them, they can lead you to a championship. And I still had Brown on that list. Even at 40 years old, I still thought he was one of those guys. If you get the right pieces around him, he can lead your team to a championship. And I'll be damned if Luka ain't a right piece. They have looked so incredible since that trade, bro. And and what hops out to me, it's a couple things that hop out to me. One is off-ball Bron, and 2 is the way the defense has leveled up, right? And it wasn't like some overnight shit. We saw the C's there where we saw, all 5 of those guys being locked in and committed to defense. And credit goes to JJ for getting buy-in on that. But bro, trading Anthony Davis, a top 5 defender in the league, for Luka, a traffic cone, and your defense gets better.
Yo, that's why I have so many questions. I have not paid close enough attention to them, nor do I think I have the proper eye to understand exactly whatever it is that they are doing. But JJ apparently is a magician to have pulled this off. I will throw this out here about the Lakers, though. They made that trade at the deadline. And otherwise, it's largely the same team, right? Switch out Luka for Anthony Davis. The Lakers are the number 2 in the West as of this recording. But of the 10 teams that would make the playoffs or play in if the season ended today, the only one with a worse point differential than the Lakers is the Mavericks. That's a shocking thing for me to see. By points scored and points allowed in total, it's like they're eking by all the way through. But when I've watched them since this trade, they don't look like that. I've also watched them play against a lot of bums, but I don't think the Nuggets are bums, for example. And they went out there and put a hurt on them that people are saying may have started the blueprint for what it is that you do against that team. I don't know what they're going to be, but they are easily, to me, the most interesting team in the NBA.
Yeah. And I think a big question of who makes it out the West boils down to, even though this Nuggets team is nowhere near as strong as that championship Nuggets team, a lot of that boils down to, can you get past Denver? Can you get past Jokic? Can you slow Jokic down? And it feels like that was the blueprint that the Lakers were working with when they had AD. Okay, we need to slow Jokic down, but they shifted. Philosophies might have shifted since they had Luka, because the way that Luka was hunting Jokic in that game, it might be like, why do we need to slow Jokic down when we can exploit his weakness? Get him out there on the perimeter, have Luka dance on him, right? And that might be the key here, bro.
I can see that. Although I will make the note that once the playoffs come, whatever JJ's doing on defense is fine. But what you just described, doing to Jokic, is what they about to do to Luka, because that was exactly what the Charlotte Hornets did. and they set Luka on fire. I tell you, fire. But coming up next, I will tell you, though, what team it is. I think the one that I would be most worried about seeing if I had to see him in the West. Shout out to Dash Pass and their members-only deal for the 24-25 NBA season. They swoosh, you save. When any player scores 50 or more points in a game, Dash Pass members save 50% on an order up to $10 off. Sign up for Dash Pass and save more all year round with $0 delivery fees and reduced service fees on eligible orders, plus exclusive perks like this one. Use the promo code NBA50 the day after the 50-point game during the 24-25 NBA regular season from noon to midnight. Valid for Dash Pass members only from noon to midnight the day after any player scores 50 points or more in a single game during the 24-25 regular season.
That's right, and as a reminder, the offer is live noon to midnight the day after the game, and that is exclusive to Dash Pass members only, 50% off one order, up to $10 off. Offer valid from 9 a.m. Pacific time through 11:59 p.m. Pacific time after a 50-point performance in any game during the NBA season on orders placed at participating merchant locations. Valid only in the United States. Maximum value of discount is $10. Discount applies to subtotal only. Does not apply to fees, taxes, gratuity. Not available for pickup. Limit one person. Not valid for the purchase of alcohol. Fees, taxes, and gratuity still apply. Must have an active Dash Pass account. Use promo code NBA50 to redeem. See further details and conditions at the link in the bio.
All right, we are back here with Dragonfly Jones. And I said the team in the West that I would not like, I'd want to see the least. I think that may be a bit of an exaggeration, but I think they're more of ooh, watch out, or I don't think you want to play them, whichever one of them phrases that you use. And that is, they gave Steph Curry another killer, like another jump on my back guy. Yeah. They got two of those with receipts that I'm not sure any other team has a guy who has two of them with the same receipts. And that includes, like, I think Jimmy Butler as that guy in the playoffs actually has more receipts than Luka does.
I have a firm Jimmy Butler rule where I do not evaluate Jimmy Butler during the regular season, because there's been times where it looks like he's regressed and all that. And my whole thing is, bro, he might look like he's regressed in the regular season, but come playoff time, he's going to look like 97 MJ out there, right? Like, locked in Jimmy is a whole different beast. And he is locked in with Golden State. And bro, it's, you know, I heard the conversation you had with David Aldridge where you like, this is perhaps the best guy he's played with since KD. And I agree there. Like, of course, the chemistry with Klay unlocked that team on a whole different level. But in a vacuum, Jimmy is a way better player just individually than Klay. And yeah, man, I mean, 2022, you know, the championship that the Warriors won, that was a bit of a sneak job. I didn't have them beating the Celtics.
That was a total sneak job.
Yeah.
Whoever won it was going to be sneaky, but that was a total sneak job.
Yeah. So look, we've seen Steph win championships with less. You know what I mean? And bro, like I said, bro, playoff Jimmy, he's a different dude, man.
Look, I think regular season Jimmy is actually wildly underrated. Like, the advanced stat profile on regular season Jimmy is kind of bananas. The issue with regular season Jimmy is, I'm not saying he Kawhi Leonard, but he is not Mr. Perfect attendance when it comes down to that. Like, that part I recognize. But they can win non-Steph minutes now. Mm-hmm. And Steph now is locked in and apparently has dealt with some injury stuff this year that seems to be doing a whole lot better. They're going to be interesting, and it will be there is a chance at some point, and we're going to have to see, because the bottom of the top of the West, like where everybody ends up, there is a world in which right now you could get Lakers Warriors in the second round, right? Because right now Denver and the Warriors are 3-6. I would not be shocked to see the Warriors beat Denver, and none of us would be shocked to see the Lakers beat whoever the team is in the play-in, which, by the way, no, it can't. But there's a small chance that it could be the Mavericks. Tiny, tiny chance that they could get a playoff series against the Mavericks in the first round. But the league needs to get out of LeBron and Steph. They need to move on to the future. We will all take Lakers Warriors as a series if they give it to us. I've been saying we need to move on for like 4 years. I will be right there. I'll be. Nas had the song about saying, "Am I stuck in the '90s, cats?" Yeah, we'll be that. We'll be that.
Yeah, it's, bro, I legitimately think it is the best rivalry the NBA's seen since Magic and Bird. And I feel like KD got in the way of that a little bit, you know what I mean, by kind of tilting the scales. But yeah, I'm always down for Bron and Steph playoff series. Like, that was my big takeaway from the Olympics, watching those dudes. Like, bro, give me all the basketball you can with these guys, with Bron, Steph, and KD. And if we get a playoff series out of that, hell yeah, I'm all the way for that. Like, I mean, the whole thing is like, what new rivalries are we pushing here? What youngins are beefing with each other? Well, you know what I mean? What youngins are in each other's way? I think Chet and Wemby, I think that is going to be the rivalry of the future right there. I'm very much looking forward to that. But other than that, like what else do we have?
Well, Chet and Wemby hate each other.
Legitimately hate each other, and they're going to be in each other's way come a lot of postseasons here too. So it's going to be incredible.
Well, what I love about them legitimately hating each other is y'all don't even be around each other that much. He from France. Like, how is there this level of animosity between you two?
Yeah, it's incredible. It is legitimate beef between them. It feels like it's 7'3" unicorn beef between these guys, but it's perfect, bro. Like I said, you know, they're going to be in each other's way come a lot of postseasons. We got the Olympics in 2028 in Los Angeles, where we can possibly see that matchup again there too. So yeah, the NBA needs to for sure get beyond that.
Hey, man. 2028 gold medal game, U.S. versus France. I can't wait. Well, that's the first time where I'm like, boys, we are in trouble.
Did you peep the Court of Gold documentary series? Yeah. And did you see the hard end they did where Wemby was like, I don't ever want to feel this way again, and they just went to black. Like, bro, like I'll give them credit for that. I feel like the NBA knows they've got something really special with Wemby, and it feels like
no, that was exactly what that was.
Yes, that's foreshadowing.
That right there was a huge bet on the part of the filmmakers on what Victor Wembanyama is going to be.
And I think he's going to be good on it, bro. I for sure think France is getting back to that gold medal in 2020.
Oh, yeah. What did you think of the Court of Gold? If you aren't familiar, Court of Gold, it's on Netflix. It's a look at the 2024 basketball, men's basketball in the Olympics in Paris.
I enjoyed it. I'll say this. I came away with a newfound respect for Serbia and their work-life balance. like those are some dudes who are going to go out there and go super hard on the court. And bro, this was the most animated I've ever seen Jokic. Like that locker room footage when he was getting on his guy's ass about how they needed to defend KD. But bro, like they went out there, they gave it their all, wasn't good enough for a gold, and they just said, okay, well, we're just going to be drunk the rest of the time we're here. You know what I mean?
And win the Browns.
Yeah. So yeah, I got a lot of respect for Serbia there. I'm gonna tell you a player who I gained an enormous amount of respect for there too, Nick Batum.
That was my number one. Nick Batum means something different when he's speaking French.
Yeah. He is a ruthless competitor. And the thing about Nick Batum is he's been a bit of a punchline. Like have you seen that freestyle with Blue Bucks Clan where he was like, stay crypto arena, fourth floor seats. I got my tool in fourth quarter, asking why the Batum in that's got a bit of running joke with him. Also, that Giannis story where he said an assistant was talking to him during warmups and told him watch Batum. He said, if you play hard enough, perhaps you can be that one day. And Giannis said, if that's as good as I can be, I'm going back to Greece. Like Batum's been the butt of jokes, some really good jokes too. But yes, this documentary, bro, like I saw that and I was like, this is an assistant coach when he retires. He's going to be on somebody's bench in a suit, bro.
Hey, man, let me tell you something. You just become a different person when you don't get to speak your own language. That's what I feel like it really comes down to, right? Pau Gasol, for example. International play, Pau Gasol looked like an entirely different person. Not necessarily a different player, but a different person than NBA Pau Gasol, who was just a bit delicate with the way that he seemed to go about his business. Not when he over there playing with the rest of them as Spaniards. No, sir.
Phil Jackson had to punch that man in his chest during a playoff game. I will never, during the Father's Day massacre when Dallas blew them out by like 40. He punched that man dead in his chest on national television. Like, bro, man up. What is going on here? But
it's been a long time since we saw a team that it's over, boys. Quite like that game was. Because that's what Andrew Bynum threw JJ Barea out the sky, right?
Yeah. Right. 7'1" Andrew Bynum taking his anger out on 5'8" JJ Barea because Dallas was cooking him that bad, bro.
Hey, man, nobody has wanted to stop playing basketball more than Andrew Bynum in that period of the Andrew Bynum Chronicles.
Oh, bro, those Sixer years when he was wearing like the perm. He was wearing the Ike Turner.
Oh, man. And after that, when they would catch him at games with like a blonde dye job drinking a brew out of a paper bag. No, let us not forget the best Andrew Bynum story. And I think he was in Cleveland when this happened. And there are a bunch of kids who have no idea who Andrew Bynum is. Andrew Bynum could have been like a top 10, 15 player in the NBA as a center, but it was very clear that he didn't enjoy playing basketball.
For all the kids who don't know who Andrew Bynum is, we were saying he needs to step up so Kobe can get rings. Like that's who that guy was. Yes,
right? Andrew Bynum was playing for the Cavs, and he had just had enough of everything. And he had decided that he was going to shoot whenever he got the ball in practice. Yes. He gets the ball by the basket. Okay, that's fine. Andrew Bynum, who's like 7'1", Andrew Bynum gets the ball at 15 and shoots. Not really his game, but maybe that happens. Andrew Bynum gets the ball top of the key, he's putting it up. Andrew Bynum gets the ball behind half court, he's putting it up. He just put up the ball every time that he touched it, and they had to toss him out of practice. And I don't think he played for the Cavs again. Andrew Bynum also gave a quote once where there were discussions about whether or not he would be traded, and he was ultimately traded to go get Dwight Howard to the Sixers, for whom he never played a game. But they asked him about getting traded. Andrew Bynum said, and I quote, "There's a bank in every city."
Phenomenal quote. He also, do you remember when Blake Griffin just bodied Pau Gasol and dunked on him, and Andrew Bynum laughed on the court and in front of he turned around so the camera could see him and laughed at his teammate getting dunked on. Never quite seen anything like that. He's a trailblazer.
He made second team All NBA.
Yeah, he was phenomenal, bro. When he had like a 2-year stretch where it was like, bro, this is the best front court in the league. When you got Odom coming off the bench, and then you got Bynum and Gasol out there, this is the best front court in the league. And then he just, cashed out and was like, I don't care anymore. And I mean, I can see how getting all that money after you've gotten some rings, it's just like, okay, what am I really doing this for?
Hold on, let me look it up. How much money you think Andrew Bynum came in the league in 2005? He left in 2014. How much money you think Andrew Bynum made in the NBA?
I'd say 170 million.
Oh no! He only played 9 years. This is a little back in the day. He made $72 million.
Oh, that's it. Okay.
See, that's how crazy the NBA is. You said, "Oh, that's it," about a man who made one All-Star team and made $72 million.
Yeah, in 7 years, that's crazy. So he was only making about 11 mil or so a year. That's a bygone era. And like I said, he was a crucial piece on the championship team and wasn't breaking the bank.
One of my favorite things to do with the NBA is have somebody throw out a name, and then we just guess how much money you think that person made or has made. I'll throw one out here right now for you. How much money do you think Brandon Ingram has made?
Did he get a max? That's the question here. I don't think he did. Rookie contracts are still a little skimpy. They only get about $40 million for those.
Well, that's now. Yeah. You got to remember.
He came in 2014,
2016.
110.
At the end of this season, will have made $182 million.
Dog, I'm still I'm old enough to remember when Juwan Howard was the first $100 million man to Miami, then that deal got revoked, right? Like, I remember how wild it was when Vin Baker got $100 million. You know what I mean? And it's just, yeah, that's wild. 180 for Brandon Ingram in what, 9
D'Angelo Russell. How much money do you think D'Angelo Russell? One-time All-Star D'Angelo Russell. How much money do you think D'Angelo Russell by the end of this year he will have made?
I'm going to use some frames of references here. I know D'Angelo came out in that 2015 draft with Cat and Porzingis, right? Okay, so kind of basically on the same timeline with Brandon Ingram. And Brandon Ingram had 180 mil. Okay, so I'm going to go 132 for D'Angelo.
By the end of this season, D'Angelo Russell will have made $176 million.
That's crazy. NBA money is crazy, bro.
We're not even talking about the good dudes. Like the NBA. Yeah, Andrew Bynum, I don't feel like doing this anymore. I've already made $72 million. Okay. You ain't ready for this. And I know you're going to know this dude got one good contract, but still. Timofey Mozgov.
I remember during that first the first cap bump 2016 season, he got a ridiculous deal.
He got a good deal then.
Yeah. I'll say 140.
Nah, 82.
82, that's it.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I remember the uproar about his contract, and I guess I'm still in my 2025
It was like
mind.
A 4-year, 50. It was like a 3-year, 50-something, like $45 million deal. Then, like, that's what that was. It wasn't that crazy.
People were,
but that's the kind of money that Timofey Mozgov is making in the NBA. I'll be damned if I'm one of them if I make the kind of money that them cats is making, ain't no way in the world I'm running my knee into a goddamn nub if I done got $120 million already. What are you, high?
How much money has Joel Embiid made? Because look like
I'm going to guess that Joel Embiid, I'm going to say that he has made $275 million.
If Ingram made 108 and he came in 2014.
Actually, no, I'm going to say he's at 300.
Sheesh. He came in 2014 that year with Wiggins when Brown went back to Cleveland and got Wiggins out of there for Kevin Love. And you said 320?
I'm going to go with 300.
300. I feel like we're playing The Price is Right here.
That's right.
$1.
That's right.
I'm gonna go with 285.
Oh, wow. You're closer. 266. But don't you worry. There's another couple $100 million left to be paid on that deal.
I mean, how do we feel about this, bro? The process, I think, with the news about the meniscus surgery, Embiid has to go, that we officially buried that and put the tombstone up on it. Where are we at with that?
My belief has been that the process, even though people will tell you the process stopped whenever Hinkie was out of there, and everything else, right? Okay, cool. But the process did what they wanted it to do, which was it got them Joel Embiid plus two other like super high picks. It just turned out the other two were Ben Simmons and Markelle Fultz. But they were making the bet that you tank and you get those best players, and that's the best strategy for team building. Meanwhile, the Warriors became the best team on earth, and they did not do that. They became the best team on earth, and I mean, they had Bogut, and he was the number one pick, but really it was Steph Curry and Harrison Barnes who were number 7 picks. That were like the high-level guys on that. That strategy that they tried was wildly problematic. Nobody's been able to make it work since, in part because they've tried to dissuade the benefits of tanking with the way they changed the lottery and everything else. They have not gotten out of the second round. That is crazy. Given some of the teams they've had, some of the talent they had, and look, some of the decisions they made. They decided to keep Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler. That was a really bad decision. I don't know what exactly happened with Ben Simmons, but hey, that's on your watch, right? You took Markelle Fultz. Yeah, okay. Embiid's the one thing you got right, and he couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah, and Embiid at his peak was phenomenal player.
Top 3 player in the NBA.
Yeah. You know, and that's what honestly kind of pissed me off a bit about Embiid, because like the thing that was most impressive to me watching him during Kansas in his early years was this dude is so fluid. 7'2" guys do not move like this, right? And then he just throws all of that away to turn into a nutcase when he's driving in the lane and fishing for fouls. And I hate that, bro. Like, you're so much better than that. I really feel like a lot of times players have to lean on that, but Embiid is just so much better than the foul baiting that he does. And that's what frustrates me about the dude.
He's been as good as reasonably expected and a little disappointing.
Yeah. I mean, you got an MVP out of the guy. Like you said, there were times where he was like a top 3 guy in the league, but I don't know, man.
But here's my question. How much differently do we talk about him and all of it if Ben Simmons just takes that layup against the Hawks in Game 7?
That man let Trey. Dog, Trey, 6'1", Trey, under the cup deterred you, 6'10".
Trey the barge. An abjectly terrible defender.
Yeah.
Terrible defender.
Like there are numbers that say he is flat out, hands down, the worst defender in the league. And you were 6'10", and you had that man under the cup and you pass it up. I don't know, bro. I feel like that legitimately broke that dude. And I'm not like a super psycho analysis armchair dude, but he was just legitimately never the same after that. And it's just wild to me.
I mean, when's the last time you watched Ben Simmons play a game of basketball?
Not voluntarily.
I do
not tune in for Ben Simmons. And there was his rookie season. I was so high on that kid, bro. I was super high on him. And it's just wild how just one event can just kind of shift your whole trajectory.
I will say this, by the way. Every time I feel like I'm becoming an old man, I love hearing you talk about these kids out here playing basketball. You good for that one. That's where you generally do a good job of keeping up the youthful exterior. That's when you lose it right there.
Hey, like I told you, like going back to the Lakers, like I mean, you want to hear me go Hoosiers on you? I got some shit for you there. Like when I was talking about their defense and how they traded out like like, AD for Luka and became a better defensive team, like that just confirms my whole perspective that defense is about effort and want to. If you got 5 guys out there who want to, like, and the whole thing is guys like AD who are incredible defenders, their value is you're putting him on a court where there's not 5 guys who want to lock in and play defense. There might be 1, there might be 2, but that's where AD thrives. But like I said, this Lakers team has committed to playing great team defense, everybody doing their part. And I think that's the leap they took in defense.
Well, I'm going to say this last thing before we get out of here, because you just mentioned it and you talked about Hoosiers. Rest in peace to Gene Hackman.
Yeah, shout out Gene Hackman. Man.
It was a real two America situation. Gene Hackman died. All these white people start talking about Hickory, Indiana. I start talking about Hoosiers. And I'm like, hey, man, this is now we going to honor this man, I thought. Why don't we highlight some of his best works? Because now I want to argue with y'all about Hoosiers, and I just don't feel like this is the right time for that.
Yeah, Hoosiers huge. I mean, there's I feel like, the film snobs say like Hoosiers is the best basketball movie ever.
Hell no.
And I'm like, nah, bro. Like I low-key, not even joking, I might take Sixth Man over Hoosiers.
White Men Can't Jump is a much more interesting movie than Hoosiers is.
Yeah, Above the Rim. That gets my vote too.
Hoosiers don't inspire us. Like, there's nothing like being a black person watching Hoosiers for the first time and going through that dry ass movie only to get to the end and realize, oh snap, my bad. I didn't realize I was the bad guy.
Bro, that scene where he had them pull out the tape measure and measure the rims. Yeah, they're 10 feet here, just like back home. Oh my God. I hate. But
they had them play against the blackest team in the world. It looked like they was playing against some avatars. Was that the movie with them cats in with the blue blacks in it?
Yeah. like how the Mavs social team blacked out Luka on that clip.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. That's what I'm saying, man. But yeah, rest in peace to Gene Hackman. You know what I'm saying? Do better by that man than Hoosiers. That's Dragonfly Jones. Check out Jenkins and Jones. They're free agents right now, but you can still check out what they have done and keep an eye on where they go. And my brother, I appreciate you.
Appreciate you having me, bro. Always good chopping up with you.
Yes, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us here on The Right Time. We do this 3 times a week. Sean, you handles everything behind the scenes. Thank you, sir. Remember, follow The Right Time. Subscribe, like, rate us, review us, give us 5 stars. You only give us 4 stars. I'm inclined to believe you are a hater. We'll talk to you guys in a couple of days. Take it easy.